Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today at AAA. I'm Dr. Khan, and I'm the Business Development Manager with AAA. Today, we have wonderful Willena with us who will lead the webinar for all of us. But before we begin, I think let me just introduce AAA to you and give you an idea about what we do, our services. So really looking forward for you to enjoy this session. If you've got any comments or any questions, we are here to answer them for you. But I request you to please keep it by the end of the webinar. All right? So the American Accreditation Association stands as an independent ISQA recognized accreditation body, and its credibility is backed by the recognition from the US government state of Virginia. From its strategic base in the United States and the International Operations Office, it's in the United Kingdom. AAA reach extends up to 52 countries, bringing a consistent world-class standard of excellence to its diverse industries. At its core, AAA is deeply committed to healthcare, ensuring hospitals, clinics, and medical institutions to meet the highest benchmark of safety, service, and patient care. We've also recently partnered up with the International Society of Telehealth and Telemedicine and eHealth. So, you know that our commitment to quality is very real and we are here to make a difference. Coming back to what services do we provide? It's an international accreditation that inspires confidence in the quality of products and services, acceptance of results from accredited organizations, and the protection of health, safety, and environment of the public. We also promote the acceptance of accredited results, certificates internationally and amongst the global partners. Along with that, we continue to develop our operations and capability to extend the expectations of our customers, stakeholders, and deliver the accreditation services to the highest quality and technical standards. Now, coming to the kind of services that we offer in the field of accreditation, we've got healthcare accreditation. Of course, the standards are recognized and backed by ISQA. We have training and education providers accreditation. We have schools accreditation, inspection bodies, along with ISO, IEC 17020, and laboratories accreditation, which is ISO 17025, ISO 15189, and ISO 17043. Coming to accreditation bodies or certification bodies accreditation, we've got ISO 17021, ISO 17024, and ISO 17065. So this is about the services. You've got all the details available on the website. We're very transparent with the kind of partners we have, the kind of accreditations that we've got, and the recognition that we've got. I urge you to please visit our website for more information. I think over to you, Willena.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khan. I really appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'll get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as we get going. Again, hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Leverage Accreditation to Grow Your Healthcare Venture. I'm Coach Willena McGee, RNBSN. I am the founder of WMNEMT Startup Academy, and I'm excited today to guide you through how accreditation can be more than just a certificate that you hang on your wall. It can be a growth tool that unlocks contracts, credibility, and clients. Before we dive in, I have a few housekeeping notes. This session is being recorded and you'll have access to the replay. Drop your name and where you're joining from in the chat so I can get to know you and who's in the room. And we'll have a dedicated Q&A at the end. So jot down your questions like Dr. Khan stated, and we will answer at the end. So here's what we're going to learn today. Number one, we're going to discuss the difference between licensing, certification, and accreditation. Number two, we're going to talk about the key benefits of that accreditation brings in healthcare ventures. Number three, how to leverage accreditation for credibility, contracts, and clients. And number 4, practical steps that you can take to prepare, apply, and sustain accreditation in your business. So today you're going to meet me again. I'm Coach Willena McGee. I am a registered nurse, bachelorette, known as the WMNEMT Startup Coach. That stands for Non-Emergency Medical Transportation. I have over 20 years of experience in healthcare and leadership, and I'm also the founder of Uplifted Abilities and the WMNEMT Startup Academy. I've lived through the challenges of starting a business and a healthcare venture, and today I help entrepreneurs avoid those mistakes by building strong, compliant, and scalable businesses from the beginning. Now, let's talk why accreditation matters. Accreditation is more than a certificate. Accreditation, it proves your commitment to quality and safety. It builds trust with patients, clients, and partners. It opens doors to funding and larger contracts. And most importantly, it sets you apart from competitors who aren't accredited. And I always say, when you're starting out and you're doing your market research, check to see who's accredited. And most of the time you'll find out not very many, right? So I want to clear up some confusion that many of us, when we're starting this journey, we're not sure of. And that's what's the difference. So let's talk about it. In terms, these usually get interchanged, but they're not interchangeable. They're not the same at all. When we talk about licensing is required by law. Without it, you can't operate. So this would be an example, if you're here in the States, of having a business license. Without your business license, you can't operate. Now, certification shows that you or your staff have specific training or skills. So this would be like your CPR first aid certification. It certifies that you have a particular skill. Now, accreditation is completely different. It is an independent stamp of approval on your business that shows that your business has shown excellence in operations beyond the minimum requirements. Accreditation is what truly gives you leverage in the marketplace. So what are some of the core benefits of accreditation? First is credibility and trust. When I first started my business, I was new to the transportation industry. I had just filed bankruptcy and I had no credibility within the industry at all. So by getting my accreditation and doing the work, it instantly brought credibility and trust to my business, where people started to wonder what makes her different. It also helped me as a business owner get very compliant and assess my risk management. So when you are starting your program, you really have to focus in on how your workflows go and your compliance. So you begin to get even more ingrained on the importance of having compliance and risk management programs within your business operations. And another core benefit of accreditation is funding and contracts. And here in the States, there's many grants, government agencies, and insurance that will give you higher priority because you are an accredited institution. And of course, let's not leave out that competitive advantage. That's, for me, that was one of the best selling points of becoming accredited, because in a crowded market, or even in an industry that you've niched down and maybe there's a lot of people in that industry, accreditation is what makes you stand out. So we're going to talk about we're going to talk about strategic steps to leverage your accreditation. These are your preparation. In most cases, it's going to be your incorporation. Many of us have LLCs, but if you have a corporation, that's fine. Your policies, your compliance foundation. And then we're going to talk about your how to apply, what you're going to need, documentation, staff training, and manuals. Number 3 is your growth. We want to talk about visibility, contracts, and partnerships. And then, of course, being able to sustain it, keeping compliance and quality ongoing through audits, quality improvement, and compliance. We'll go through each of these phases together. So let's talk about the preparation phase. The preparation phase is all about building your foundation. Do you have your LLC, your corporation, and EIN set up? Are your policies and procedures in place? Have you done an internal audit to see how your operations measure against the accreditation standards? And doing these steps will help to save you headaches later when you apply for your accreditation. Now, application and documentation, what's involved? Accreditation does require documentation. That we know that, and that's why we're here to learn more about that process. And there's lots of it, but it's not overwhelming if you know what you're doing in the process, and that's why we're here. This is going to include your policies and procedures, manuals, staff training records, safety protocols, and quality assurance systems. Now, it may sound overwhelming, but I want you to understand that if you're opening up an operation and looking to be accredited, if you're a training provider such as I am, you do this every day. And you may not have it on paper, but you have it in your head. So what we're going to do is we're just going to transfer what's in your head and what you do on a daily basis. And we're going to map out systems through policies and procedures, staff training and competencies, safety protocols, and put it all together. And this is what is going to build trust and position you for growth after you've had this completed. So let's talk about that growth and visibility. Accreditation. Once you have accreditation, don't just file it away. Don't just say, oh, we're accredited and that's it, and leave it there. No, you want to use it and use it to help build your branding, use it on your website, use it in your marketing, use it everywhere, right? You want to mention it to hospitals and clinics that you're an accredited training provider or that you're in an accredited facility. You want to tell people about your accreditation. You want to leverage it to pursue government contracts and private contracts because, again, it differentiates you from your competitors. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how accreditation is a marketing tool as much as it is a compliance marker. Use it in all of your marketing. Now, let's talk about sustaining your accreditation. So accreditation is not a one and done event. You'll need to sustain it. So how do we sustain it? Annual audits, looking through your systems, seeing how your systems and processes, if you need to update them, go back and update them. I know for me personally, I have completely changed many of the things and how I do things since accreditation. And I've had to go back and I've had to audit those processes and update them. All right. So you're going to also want to make sure that you do ongoing compliance checks to make sure that you continue to meet the standards of your accrediting body. You don't want to fall behind. And continuous and quality improvement, always seeking to do better. And this again is what's going to, by looking at how you can improve your quality and your performance, that's just going to make you better and make you a better business owner and make you a better healthcare facilitator. So, of course, look at client feedback systems, see how you can improve that, and how it meets accreditation standards. Doing all of this is going to ensure that your business remains trustworthy long term, not just for the short term. Your accreditation is something that you should be proud of because you put a lot of work into it. And so you want to make sure that you continuously make it that you continuously audit and do these steps in between your accreditation recertifications to just stay on top of your game. So let's talk about me a little bit. And my business is Uplifted Abilities. And I talked about it a little bit before we got started, and I will talk about it here. I started a transportation business back in 2019, and it didn't go so well. I didn't understand the industry. I didn't understand the compliance factors, the regulations of it. I didn't understand the onboarding processes, the service, how to package services. I didn't understand anything about what it was that I was doing. And so consequently, I failed. I had to shut down my business. So I wanted to teach others how to avoid the same mistakes that I made. So I developed a training system for individuals who are looking to go into healthcare transportation, otherwise known as non-emergency medical transportation. And again, this is an industry that has been around for years, and many people were in it for years, and they did not really give out that information too much. I call them the gatekeepers, right? And there were newcomers that had come into the industry, and they were having a lot of success on YouTube and other social media platforms. But little old me, I was brand new. I had just lost my business, and I'm wanting to train other people on how to avoid those same mistakes. Of course, it was hard for me to gain trust. No one knew who I was. Why did I matter? It wasn't adding up. I had limited partnerships. People in the industry didn't take me seriously. They believed I would be fly by night, that I wouldn't be here today. And it was very challenging for me to know that individuals didn't think much of me and my credibility. I didn't have very many opportunities. I was having to price my services very low just to compete and to get those testimonials that I am an actual legitimate individual who could train them on how to start their business the right way. And I struggled. I struggled that first year. I did. But once I had my program, I had my framework, I understood how I was operating, I understood what I was doing. One morning, I just woke up and said, how about accreditation? What's the difference between certification and accreditation? And I began to do my homework. So I reached out to AAA and I did the work. I did the work. And as a result, I feel like I'm paused. There we go. As a result, I was recognized. I started having uh, different companies, different software companies reach out to me. I began to have one of the industry's leaders reach out to me. And some of it wasn't always good. They would reach out to me, if you need help, I'll help you. And I was like, I don't need help. but, it started getting people's attention when I began to say, I'm accredited. it got their attention. And as a result, I started getting invited to networking opportunities. People began to come onto my podcast and share information about the industry. And I was able to build some pretty strong partnerships. And of course, it opened doors. For me, it opened doors to clientele. I was able to charge high level pricing to get people into my programs and to teach them about my industry. So again, let's talk about it again. Before accreditation, I had closed doors, that stagnant growth, limited trust, just not doing so well overall in business. After accreditation, doors began to open, stronger partnerships, and major growth opportunities happen in my business. So let's talk about accreditation and the key takeaways. Let's recap the core message today. Accreditation equals credibility plus contracts plus clients. And that's why we all go into business. We go into business to help others, first of all, and to serve others, but also we want to be profitable. We want to have a steady stream of income, a steady revenue stream, and we want to operate at our highest level. And for those who want to operate at our highest level, we want to seek accreditation. It's an investment in your growth. It's not just compliance. Compliance is a big component of it, but because you are investing in being so compliant and being excellent in your industry, it now leverages you and positions you as an accredited training provider or accredited facility. And it sets your business apart in healthcare. Again, if you're a smaller business, a smaller facility, a smaller entity that's just coming in on board, you need something that's going to show that you have excellence in the forefront of your business and that you're supported by an accredited body. So here's your next steps. Assess your business readiness. We're not always ready, but you can get ready. So we're going to identify which accrediting bodies are most relevant to your healthcare venture. I highly suggest AAA due to the support you receive throughout the process and their dedication to healthcare. As a registered nurse, it was so important to me that I met someone that was on the same level and thought the same processes as me in healthcare. And AAA met that for me. So you want to begin once you have identified those relevant accrediting bodies such as AAA, you want to begin compliance today. You want to start doing the steps to get ready for what you're going to have to do to get into, to get your accreditation sealed in. The sooner you start, the sooner you can leverage accreditation for growth. Now, I'm gonna ask, this is kind of our question and answer. I got done a lot sooner than I wanted to. I wanted to take it back a little bit longer, but let's talk about what questions you may have. And I'm going to answer a few common questions that I hear. So again, which accrediting bodies fit my business? For me, I chose AAA because of the healthcare component. There are accrediting bodies, but if you're in the healthcare industry, you really should evaluate AAA heavily for that component that they support strongly healthcare organizations. Another question that I frequently get is, how long does the process take? Well, that really does depend on you. How soon can you get your information in? You, again, I say you have everything you need and everything you do in your head. You know, your business already has policies and procedures. You already have compliance that you have to stand on. It's just a matter of putting that in working order so that you can present it and against the quality standards against AAA. And what if you're just starting out? Get on it. Start today. Don't wait, especially if you're just starting out. If you're just starting out, you want to jump on accreditation as soon as you have your program developed and know what direction you're going, because again, you're going to be using this, or you should be using this in your marketing, your branding, your website. I use it for everything. I use my accreditation seal on pretty much every piece of marketing material that goes out to show that I am credible and trustworthy in the industry.
All right, then I think we are at the end of our webinar. And Willena, thank you so much for your time. And for all of us who are present here, I just want to quickly mention that we will be posting this on our YouTube channel. So just in case you've missed any points or you want to revisit certain points that Willena has just stated, it will be up on our YouTube channel.
Thank you, everyone.